mandates is now doing that for.
I can't wait to see the fucking Fox News.
And he's humiliated by the Afghanistan situation. He's upset with the economic recovery where it should be, but it's not. So he's taking that anger out on the unvaxxed. He's targeting 80 million Americans who don't trust him, don't trust the media, for good reason. Country's been lied to for 3 decades. Why would you trust a politician or the media telling you anything? And instead of uniting the country against this pandemic and against China, because that's where it came from, he's trying to divide the country against itself for political exploitation. You know who people trust? They trust their doctor. So instead of doing all this crap that means nothing, give the doctors the shot.
I love this fucking take because it's like so many of these people that don't take the vaccine are not going to doctors, bro. They don't have fat fucking Fox News salaries and like access to healthcare, especially your dumbass audience that lives in like rural areas where there aren't even fucking hospitals. They don't trust the doctors. That's the problem. They trust you.
There's about 2 million federal government employees. Let's just say 70% are vaxxed. So that's 500,000 that aren't vaxxed. He's going to fire 500,000 government employees for not getting the shot? If he does that, he's the greatest bureaucratic reducer. I would call him a conservative. Yeah. I mean, he gets rid of 500,000 federal employees. Wow.
Jobs get filled.
Yeah, that would be a big deal. The other thing, if you have more than 100 workers at your company.
What's great is that, first of all, it's a OSHA mandate, so sucks to suck.
And it's just going to create a lot of turmoil in the economy. He was also speaking to these vaccine extremists. You know, these people that have the 2 shots, they can't wait for their booster. They wear a body condom when they leave the house. Still living like it's spring 2020 in deep quarantine, afraid to go to the grocery store. He's telling them, I'm on your side, right? It's these nasty, unvaxxed masses. These are the people that are hurting us. And then he says, if the economy doesn't...
But it's true. They're hurting us. They're filling up ICUs.
He's already set up an excuse that if this thing doesn't work out, it's their fault. He goes, we've done our part. Federal government, quote unquote. And then he lied and said, governor.
He has. He's doing it right now. This is the part that the federal government is supposed to do. Vaccine mandates.
The governor has said that.
Let's
and basically
go.
declared war on
47
Abbott
with the 10-tier and gift subs.
So
also, it's middle of the hour because I forgot to run the fucking top of the hour ad break. But if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, all you need to do is subscribe. You already know this shit, okay? $5, $4 because it's September, or free if you have a Twitch Prime or an ad block or a VPN. These are the ways that you can have an ad-free broadcasting experience. We're watching Fox 5 seethe right now, the vaccine mandates. But here is the 1-minute ad break. Now, Twitch Prime is free if you have an Amazon Prime that you've stolen from someone and connected to your Twitch account. All right.
Yeah.
You do hear, I mean, you do hear that.
No, you hear that from the media. You don't hear
people they're interviewing.
Please. What a unifier.
My question was this: is that speech going to persuade any of those?
No, it doesn't persuade anybody. No. The great unifier is saying that all those are vaxxed are mad at those that aren't. So this is not true. It's all there to just gin up more animosity and cause division. Basically, he said the unvaxxed are the new terrorists. That's what he did. Like, he showed more anger towards that 80 million, this amorphous 80 million that he actually won't specify what constitutes the 80 million, which is kind of interesting. But he showed more anger towards them than the orderly and kind Taliban, right? The very business, like, he also lied. He lied so much. And he was, basically this whole thing was he was blowing his own horn because he blew it in Afghanistan. This was his way to show that maybe he is competent. So he had to gin up the fear. It was an interesting little game of saying everything's great, but it could just totally go to hell in a minute.
And it wouldn't be my fault.
And it wouldn't be my fault. It's these other people's faults. And then he's comparing the past, like before he got there to now. People have to remember, this is a guy that said, don't trust the vaccines.
Yep.
That's the guy. The same guy who said that is now saying people who say that are publicly dangerous or endangering public health.
I think jail. Am I wrong? I mean, this guy should go to jail. I mean, seriously. Like, if you're lying this much, you should go to jail. Like, if you're deliberately lying, I'm so on board with throwing this guy in jail, dude. I want to see him fucking rot in jail.
It's a punching down thing, but he won't say who they are, right? And I don't trust anyone, especially him, who says, the only way to get back to normal is to do X.
For the 15 gift
but they keep changing X. because on how it affects them politically. So his government said, we're not doing mask mandates.
The worst part is all these fucking pieces of shit are vaccinated.
That changed. And now he has basically created unlimited power. He has unlimited power. He can have private businesses fire employees. That's
right.
unlimited.
And I'm interested in that because we have lawyers here at the table. But can I just mention one thing? When President Biden and Kamala Harris both said that they'd be skeptical of the vaccine if it's developed under President Trump. It was about a year ago to this day, right? It was right in that fall time frame as the election, right after Labor Day, as the election was really heating up. Can I ask you, Judge, what your general thoughts? But I do think about the fact that, first of all, that the Small Business Administration and the IRS says that a small business is 1,500 employees. Now he's saying that if you have a business of 100 employees, and this has to go through a rulemaking process, it's not like you can just immediately say this. It's going to go to court. Would people that want to challenge it have a case?
Well, I think they could certainly challenge it. I don't know if they would have a case. I mean, because right now we're in a pandemic. And so what's happening is the courts are going to bend to the...
Dude, remember, guys, 3,000 Americans died on 9/11, 1,500 a day right now, okay? We are literally approaching 9/11 a day, okay? Again, so to throw up the air quotes when you say pandemic... Well, most of those people that are fucking dying now at this point are literally just like Fox News watchers and viewers. It's completely psychotic.
People to divide. These are all quotes. It's not about your freedom or your personal choice. Understand, and then he says, I understand your anger against the unvaccinated. And he is constantly ginning up anger in our society. It's all this Marxism thing that's following through everything that they're doing. And you're right, it was a year ago when they said, I'm not taking it if it's a Trump vaccine, if Trump supports it.
Dude, what difference does it make? They took the vaccine on camera. Shut the fuck up.
5% of Americans have at least one shot. The thing
that makes me so angry is that Fox News tailors its arguments towards an audience of baboons, okay? If you watch Fox News as entertainment, I'm sorry, I know a lot of your parents do. You're fucking stupid, okay? So they tailor the argument towards stupid people. And this is something that Donald Trump did as well. And it really fucking made me so mad. Like, they literally don't have to make a cohesive argument. It's just team sports. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't even have, they don't even have to lie. They literally just say, well, Joe Biden didn't want to take the vaccine last year. It's like before the vaccine was created. What difference does it make? He still took the vaccine. Once the experts said that the vaccine is safe, he took the vaccine on camera. So why are you bringing back something from a time when the vaccine didn't even fucking exist? And what does that mean? Are you trying to say that Joe Biden is like creating vaccine hesitancy? You guys all took the vaccine too.
Without the mask on, and they decide to throw the mother off. I mean, I could go on and on about the absurdity of people who don't have power, who are suddenly engaged and have power, then they abuse it.
What about
this guy doesn't impress me.
What about when he says the virus transcends borders?
Oh, I love that. That one.
That was awesome.
By the way,
wide open border.
Oh, by the way, last thought.
He's talking about the border with Florida and Texas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and he's making sure they have more, but that's another issue. We've got the Delta variant. Wait till the Mongolian variant comes in. Wait till the one that comes in from Turks and Caicos. Everybody's going to have their own.
Your boyfriend keeps calling you.
I know. He's not my boyfriend. Everybody's bothering me. I'm turning this off.
Geraldo, let's give you the floor.
That's the government coming after you.
Well, first, I almost totally disagree with Greg and with Jesse. Now, and I love them. They're very reasoned people, generally speaking. But
no, they're not.
This was a president who was doing something that he feels necessary to curb an emergency that has already, ladies and gentlemen, taken more lives than the American Civil War. I mean, let's put it in the context of what we're talking about here.
Geraldo.
All right, well, if you know it, then doesn't it bear context and repeating that this is what we're talking about? Not talking about you don't have a right to drink if you're 19 years old, or you don't have a right to have a license before you're 60. This is about life and death. He is impatient. He is angry. He thought that he would be remembered as the president who crushed COVID, and instead COVID is threatening to crush his agenda. So of course he is in every way frustrated.
Isn't it about Afghanistan? Come on, Geraldo. This is about Afghanistan.
Please.
This is the pivot.
Why
Bro, that's so dumb. Maybe it's about 1,000 deaths a day, dude.
An instant of sincerity.
Never.
A presumption of sincerity.
No, he has divided so
everything
many people.
Everything he says, you reject.
That's not true.
But also, this speech could have been given next Monday.
But ladies and gentlemen, there is long settled.
Then they would literally say, "Oh, you're doing it to hide the 9/11 anniversary."
Your freedoms cannot infringe on my family's health. You don't have the right to spread smallpox or measles or polio or whatever it is to my family. I have a right to protect my family. My government has the obligation to protect me and my family. Right now, you have schools teetering in the balance. You have, look at football starts tonight. Football starts tonight. What happens when the president says, "Oh, you know something? We have to go back to no fans in the stands again." Oh. I mean, we get that, right? We understand that this is horrible to go backwards. Listen to the man. Listen to him.
If he destroys football season, we impeach.
No one's going backwards.
We are going. If we don't listen, you don't listen.
Backwards.
Get the damn
Let me tell
vaccine.
you, three-quarters of the country has a vaccine. The people who don't have it made that decision.
I have grandchildren. You have to get vaccinated.
They made that decision. The people who don't want to do it make that decision. If they got comorbidities and if they're old, it's their. What do you mean they can't make it?
You have no right to make a decision that negatively impacts my family.
You know what?
This is.
They have the right to do whatever they want to do, and I'm sick and tired of them saying it's this party or that party. The people I know who aren't vaccinated just don't believe in any of it.
There's not a lawyer watching. There's not a lawyer watching who does not believe the president of the United States was well within his legal and constitutional rights.
I never said he wasn't.
Just because it's legal doesn't make it right, Geraldo. And you, as a lawyer,
wow, morality is not a substitute for legality. Only when it comes to fucking vax mandates. Also, the only reason why they're making this argument is because they literally know that this is well within the president's jurisdiction.
He very much wanted to change the subject, but he wanted it so badly, he burned the house down.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
We'll have more of the 5 up next.
Burn the house down? How did he burn the house down? He burned the house down by fucking making sure everyone's vaccinated? Dude, I love this. I love this, dude. That was you, ladies and gentlemen. What we just watched is the reason why your parents literally are brain diseased. Okay. Do you want to understand? Do you want to understand why your parents have complete brain cancer, dude? Just straight up brain worms that ivermectin can't fucking deal with. They got irreparable brain damage from watching that shit all day and all night.